There she is, secured on. Bit of cosmetic work to do. Happy days. Bit of a steal really, I think. Looking forward to working on that one. Dilly. Right, so first start, or attempted start, of the Yummy. Apparently never been started in 3 years. I've put a battery on from the Varadero, so hopefully that's strong. If not, I'll put some jump leads on so we get some good power. I've checked the oil, that's good. So put the fuel on now, ignition, and let's turn her on. Interesting. Well, as you can see, it turned, but she doesn't want to run, so yeah, a little bit investigation needed. Dilly. Okay, so my initial diagnosis and try is, if that's been stood for 3 years, let's get the carburetor off, get it all cleaned out, check the floats, needles, probably needs fresh fuel in as well, so I'll drain that fuel out and put fresh fuel in, and then we'll take it from there. I'm guessing the easiest way to get the carburetor is going to be to tell the fuel tank off, which should be fairly straightforward. I shall have a look. Fuel tank off, carburetor off hopefully. We've got the throttle and choke cables going in there. This will be the air filter on this side. No doubt that'll need changing. Yeah, so take this air filter off. Yeah, and I'll be able to see a bit more and determine how I can get the carburetor off. Okay, as we can see, carburetor is off. So yeah, stripped down, clean. Pity I didn't have an ultrasonic cleaner, but I'm sure I'll manage. I've got carb cleaner and stuff, so I'll be able to clean all the jets out, check the float, check the diaphragms, check everything's moving freely, clean everything up, and then put it back together. As I say, put fresh fuel on, and then hopefully we'll get it up and happy days. Dilly. So as we've seen, got the wheel off. Ordered a new tyre, ordered a new 90-degree valve. Had an inner tube in that, tubeless tyre, but never mind. So I'm just going to do a bit of work on the back brake, which was seized on. Quite common for these type with the lever. Yes, so that is solid and should move freely. So basically when you move that lever, see that bit of metal there that moves out, pushes them apart, pushes that against the inner hub here of the wheel and slows it down. So basically just got to take these shoes off, which is nothing, just prise them off, they'll come straight off. Then I've got to tap this out, clean it all up, grease it. Jobs are good and dilly. Whew, okay, this is on solid. So I've got the other side clamped in there. So what I'm trying to do is move the whole of this so it turns inside there and freeze it. This should move freely. Let's see, so I'm trying to move this. So I've been hitting it with a hammer, sort of, you know, backwards and forwards. I've got a bit of movement on it. Yeah, if I keep on hammering. But nowhere near enough. So what I need to do is move it backwards and forwards quite a bit to get the fluid to work in and create a little bit of heat maybe. But certainly get the WD-40 to sink down and that'll free it off. So my plan is going to drill 2 holes in here put a bolt in there and then a bolt in that there, and then I'll have leverage then just to be able to like push this backwards and forwards. Right, so you know, a lot more movement there, easy. So I'll just keep moving it and sprinting this in with while I'm moving it, but obviously I can't have, I'm got it in the tripod so I can't show you, but basically just working this WD-40 in now, and then eventually it should come off okay. Right, see you on the other side. Yay! Right, that worked a treat. So we got it out. See on there how dry it is. See, solid. Clean all this up, grease it up, put it back in, ready to go and adjust. Get all this cleaned off as well. Okay, so all back together, cleaned up and working. I've put it back temporarily because as I say, I've got to do some painting. However, you can see now when I move the lever, which now moves, how it expands. So we'll put it on here. So you can see that that's fixed. The wheel spins, and then when you pull the back brake, pulls on the lever and then basically stops that from turning. Quite a simple design, and the one that now works. Waiting for me tyre, dilly. Well, this little 125 is becoming a bit of a challenge every day. I mean, everything's seized on it, like, I don't know when the last time it was on the road, but anyway, this was the chain cover that went over there, the drive sprocket if you like. So I undo the 3 bolts and I can't get this off. Reason being, it had seized on the gear shaft, so yeah, took some knocking off, like. Anyway, eventually got it off. That was all the crap that was behind it. I mean, it just loads all in there. Right, so that was one thing. The next thing is I'm going to be taking this trail arm off to clean it, but also to get the chain off so I don't have to split the chain. So I've undone the bolt all right. There's a through bolt which should just knock out, and there's basically bearings on it here. However, the bolt is solid. It just won't come out at all. So I've took the back shocks off, which means this trail arm now should just move up and down independently, and it's absolutely solid. So it hasn't had any rear suspension. So I'm going to have to get some an extendable bar on it. Again, give us leverage so I can start and get some movement in it. Otherwise that bolt is not going to come off. I can't get the windy gun on that. If I can get the windy gun on that, I'd have been able to get it off, but I can't. Now even when I get this loose, I don't think I'm going to get that bolt out because it's going to foul the exhaust, which means then I've got to take the exhaust off, which means then I'll probably snap bolt. And I don't think you can take these off individually, the interconnected. Oh, it's just not straightforward. It is honestly a bit of a test. I mean, why they've put it on this side? Why didn't they put the nut on the other side so you could just pull the whole thing out? But no, they've got to put it on there and then put the exhaust on. Just doesn't make sense. I'll see how I get on. Dilly. Right, all is not lost. So I noticed a Jubilee clip on here, which I thought just took this cover off here, but it actually takes the whole of this cover off. Watch what I saw behind. This is the exhaust. It's about the width of a 20p piece. Mind, they make it look good with the covers, I suppose. Right, a bit of luck now. I'll actually get that bolt out. Dilly. Right, windy gun didn't touch it. Got it on nice and flush and square. Windy gunned it. Now I have actually managed to move the airframe up and down slightly, so it does have a little bit of movement. Well, this bolt is seized on either in the middle of the mounting points or still a bit round here. I'm going to have to heat it up. I've got to be careful of these. I think them ones are metal actually. Yeah, so they're not ABS, they're metal. So I'll just try and heat, I don't know whether to heat the bolt up or heat the frame up. That's the only thing I've got left. Right, both sides. No joy with the windy, so I've now got my axle stand out, pry bar. I've got the short one out for now, but I can get the big boy out like if I need to. However, I have put a lot of tension on here, and it is, I don't know if you'll see it, but moved ever so slightly. So as long as I can keep getting a little bit of movement, eventually it should give and start turning, and then I'll be able to knock it out. Dilly. Right, I've just went straight for the big lad. Let's see if I can zoom in on this. Get some movement. Right, well that's not good. That bolt's going to snap. I could feel that moving, but not see it moving. Oh dear. Don't really want to snap a bolt. I'm in a dilemma now. Let me think. Dilly. So carrying on from yesterday. So we know we couldn't get the bolt out. Yeah, so I ditched that idea. I'm just going to tighten that back up. Actually, when I've looked at it, I've managed to get the chain off. And didn't even need to take the trail arm off, so the only other reason the trail arm was coming off to give it a good clean, but not the end of the world. It's free now. Basically moves up and down, it's got movement, which it didn't have before. Chain will get cleaned. I'll clean all in here, painted with some underseal. Cleaned all that there, that was just full of gunk. Right, I've got some other bits to clean which go back onto here just to protect these wires. So I'll give them a good clean, put them back on. Yeah, so at least I'm getting the chain off. So again, the chain will get a good clean. I'll probably put that in the ultrasonic cleaner when it arrives tomorrow, and we'll see what kind of condition that comes out. Yeah, so you can see these are the bits that I've got to clean. That's that cable protector. You see the chain rubber goes over the end of the swing arm, so don't get metal on metal. See all inside this casing here that covered that drive sprocket, and that there needs a Dremel in it and all the crap taken off that. That basically was wedged on solid. You couldn't change gear. Well, I literally had to put loads of faults on because that's where the gear rod came from, or the gear shaft changer. Yeah, get all that cleaned up. Here's the chain. A bit of a sorry state, really. You can see that it doesn't sort of find its own straightness with the gravity. So yeah, definitely needs a good fettle in that. Cool. So that's pretty much it for now. Mainly waiting for parts. Ultrasonic cleaner, rebuild kit, tire valve. I think that's about it. Okay, catch you later.
I was running 6 feet underground, got the whole town searching for an outlaw. Broken promise, thinking he could run from a deadly sin. If only the gods would be kind to a man who's dripping in blood with a gun to his head. Desperado. It's our time to head west and lay low. Hunt me down like I'm never gonna change at all. Leaving me dry with no horse and no phone. Don't need that shit when I got no one to